Okay. So in the last class, okay, how to create user-defined constraint names, and that we taken out here. And later, so as of now, we are applied constraints along with table creation. And now we need to add your constraints on existing table. Okay, so how we will be adding here. So one by one we will see here, right down below, how to add constraint to an to an existing table. Okay, right. And the first take syntax for this, alter table name, and I'm using add keyword. So add constraint is predefined keyword, and after that I need to pass some constraint key name. So constraint key name after constraint type, the which type of constraint you need to apply, and after that pass your column name, on which column you need to apply your constraint. Okay, so this is your syntax of adding your constraints to existing table structure. Okay, and let me see the first of all what I'm doing here. I'm creating one table without any constraint. Okay, now so now come back and see. Huh. Okay, the first of all, okay. So let me see. We are creating one sample table. The table name is parent. So ID, and I will take name here and salary. Suppose one sample table we design here, but see on this table columns, do you have any constants we applied? No. So there is no constants here. So the table successfully created. And now after that, okay, so one by one I need to add now. Okay, suppose I need to add a primary key constraint. Okay, the primary key constraint I'm going to adding to my employee ID column. Okay, then how we can means, then you can see the syntax here, alter table name is what now? Parent. And here I'm using add keyword. Okay, so constraint, and the constant key name. I already said to you, you should give some name of the constant key, then easily identify which constant are you applied. So constant and constant key, for example, okay, so EID underscore PK, EID underscore PK. And after that, which constant, the type of the constant. So primary key is my type of the constant on which column you applied EID. Okay, so this is the way you can add your constraint. Okay, now after adding, suppose you have a doubt whether this constraint is successfully added or not. Then how I can see the constants details? What is the data dictionary? User underscore const underscore columns. So now we can call select column underscore name, comma, constraint constraint underscore name, and from which data dictionary? User underscore cons underscore columns. Okay, and where the table underscore name is equals to, your table name should be in capital. So I'm using your parent. Okay, to execute now and see on your EID column, Okay. Your constraint was added. The constraint name is EID underscore primary key. Got it? Huh? So like this one by one, you can add to your each and every column as per your requirement basis. Suppose next I'm going to adding unique constraint, then I'm using alter table and the table name is what now here parent. So add constraint and here I'm giving here suppose ename underscore uq and we pass unique of a ename. So when you're sending here, the unique constraint successfully added. After that, you need to add your constraint alter table. The table name is parent. Add constraint. The constraint name is, for example, sal underscore chk and check constraint with some condition salary which is greater than 15,000. The check constraint is also added. So like you can go to add your constraint on your required column. Then you can see the three constants I was applied on ID, on name, and on sal. Okay, right down below. So adding primary key. Okay. And now we can see the whatever the check constraint condition we added to your particular column. So this conditional value, suppose I want to see here. So how I can see the conditional value means here one more data dictionary we have here that's called as user underscore constraints. In this user underscore constraints, just check it out. There are so many columns are there. In this, one of my column is called as what now? Search underscore condition. So search underscore condition in this column, your check conditional value will be stored. And whenever you want to see the check constraint through which type of condition I was applied on my table column. So that information, whenever you want to view, then you can call this search underscore condition. And from what is your data dictionary? User underscore constraints. And the table underscore name is equals to parent. And now we can see that whatever the condition we applied along with your check constraint, the conditional value we can see it. The which type of condition was given, the condition information, do you want to see this? Then I have to go for user underscore constraint. And user underscore constraint in this one of my column, the column name is what now? Search underscore condition. Got it? So now below item. Take the note. So if we want to view the check constraint conditional value, on a column of a particular table, then we use a data dictionary. Then we use a data dictionary. Dictionary is user underscore constraints. And first, for every data dictionary, first you have to see that what we can say, the table structure. Then you can get some idea. So which column I want to call. And the next one is the third case, adding not null constraint. So here carefully observe when you want to add not null, the syntactical wise, it was having some difference here. So let me see what is the difference. Observe. Alter table name. And previously, whenever we need to add your constraint, we are using which keyword? Add keyword. But when we want to add not null, we are not using add keyword. We are using what now? Modify keyword. And if anybody asks you, why are you using modify? So why we are using modify? So why I'm using modify means, we all of you know this. Suppose you have a X is one of the column in the table. Okay, na? So in X column, by default, what it will be take? What is the default value of columns? Come on, null. Okay, na? That is a default. So whenever we are not passing any value for the X or any column, by default, those columns will take nulls. So that means already null was existing in your row column cell or column row cell. It already existing here. So this existing null, what I want to do, I want to change or else modify as a what now? Not null. As a not null. So already null was existing in your columns. Okay, now? So that means it was there already something. That was I need to replace. I want to change. The change with the what now? Not null constant. So that's why the changing level we need to use what now? Modify keyword. The null will be modified with the not null. Understand now? That is the reason we will be taking here modify keyword and why not add keyword. And previous constants are we are not doing anything. We are just adding your constants to the columns. Okay, na? So we are adding primary key, unique, check value. So we are adding here, but here modifying here. So null will be replaced with the not null. Okay, that's why I'm using modify keyword. Then after I want to give some column name, the which column you have to do this. So constant is a predefined key name. And after that, you have to send your constant key name. And after you have to pass your not null. Okay, so this is a separate syntax for not null when you are adding here. Okay, now come back. And now see, the first of all, I want to show you the table. My table was having three columns. Okay, in these three columns, one column is having not null. Which column? EID column is having not null already. So why? Because it is not null means it is a primary key. And primary key is a combination of unique and not null. And remaining two columns are there, e-name and salary. These remaining two columns is already having some nulls. Null is nothing but empty value. So you're having already nulls. So in this two column, your wish, any one column, you just make it a not null. Okay. For example, let me see, I'm going to add alter table. The table name is what now? Parent. And I'm using modify keyword. Modify which column? Suppose employee name column. And we applied a constant key name, e name underscore nn. And after that, I'm using not null. So I'm going to change for ename column to make it a not null here. So table successfully altered. After that, you want to see the structure of the table. Now you can see the ename column was changed as not null. Okay, na? Right. And later, if you want to see this in data dictionary levels. So what is your data dictionary here? Column name, comma, constant underscore name from user underscore cons underscore columns where table underscore name is equals to parent. Now we can see on EID primary key, ename unique, salary check, and also ename not null. Okay, like your constant key name also, you can see it right down below. The next one, adding foreign key. Foreign key constraint. So here foreign key, when we want to add, again, there is some little bit differences are there here in the syntax. So alter table name, add constraint. And I want to give it my constraint key name. And after that, my constraint type. So what is my constraint type? Foreign key. And this foreign key are you applied one of my common column of which table? Child table. Okay. And taking references from which table? Come on, parent table of which column? Primary key column. And additionally, you need to apply the cascade rules on existing table. Then you can apply like this. On delete. First one is what now? On delete cascade. Otherwise, on delete set null. But in this two, any one only you can apply, not at both. Okay. So now we can add on existing table how to add your foreign key along with your cascade rules. So come out and see your table. First, I'm creating one sample table. Okay. Create table. My table name is what now? Child. Department name, the varchar2 of some size. And my primary key column is reference column. What is the primary key column? EID. But I'm not applying any foreign key, just the column was designed. Okay. Then after I will go for to add your constraint on this child table. So add. So we are passing constraint and constant key on EID underscore F key and my constant type. What is the constant here? So foreign key. Next, which column here? Common column of a child table. What is the child table common column? EID. And we are taking references from where? Okay. Parent of which column? Primary key column is EID. And additionally, what you need to apply here? Suppose you need to apply on delete cascade. So you can add this. Okay, any one only. So on delete cascade, I was added and successfully your foreign key was added. And it is added or not. Again, you have a doubt. Then you can go for your data dictionary. Okay, user underscore cons underscore columns and table name is equals what? Child. And see your foreign key was successfully added to your EID column. Okay, now? Try it down below. Okay, so these are adding of constraints. Okay, so on existing table, how to add here. And these are all constants. Okay, I need to test now. Okay, and you don't write, just observe. So I'm going to testing these all constraints now. So there is a two tables. One is your parent, no rows, as well as child table. There is no rows. Okay, now the rows are not there here. And let me see, I'm going to use some, okay. I'm inserting some data into parent table and sending values of, so carefully observe. Salary, I was given more than 15,000. Suppose if I was given 12,000 salary. When I'm giving 12,000 salary, is it allowed? No, it was showing error. The check constraint is violated. And what is your check constraint name? Sal underscore CHK. Can you remember previously in place of that, system defined constant names are there? Identified anybody? Sys underscore C00, some numbers are there. But instead of that number, now we given our user defined names. Okay, so 12,000 will not allowed. In the same pattern, if I want to send 16,000, can I? Yes, I can allow. After that here, if I want to give it B and some amount of salary 36, can I? No. Why? Because year 1 is already existing in my table. But EID is what now? Primary key. Primary key can allow duplicates? No. So it was showing error. And which constant is violated? Primary key was violated. Okay, na? Right. So now the next one, if I'm going to change here to, and here I was given A, can I? No, because ename also having unique constraint. If I executed this one, then what happened? Ename unique constraint is violated. Understand now? So that means you need to change here also. Okay, then. So it will be allowed. And now you can see your parent table. Okay, this is the data in your parent table. Same as come to child. Insert into child table, sending values of department name D1 and 1. Can I accept 1? Yes or no? Yes. So 1 will be accepted because of reason the one parent is there or not there? There. So there means allowed? Yes. And suppose department number D2. Can I allow 1? One more time. Yes. So number of children's can allowed. Suppose if I want to give here 3 and I'm passing here 2, can I? Yes, 2 parent is also there. Now I'm going to give it here department number 4 and ID was 3. Can I? No. Why, sir? Because parent is not there. So that's why it is not allowed, showing error. The integrity constant is violated. What is my constraint? Foreign key constant is violated and parent key is not found. So now finally come back to your parent and child, the parent table, and same as what is now child table. Okay, all are working. And on this, if I use delete parent from parent table where EID is equals to 1. What I'm doing here, I'm deleting parent. Once you deleted parent, automatically child also deleted. Why? Because on delete cascade rules are we applied. So now I'm executing this. One row is deleted and come to see your parents successfully deleted and the corresponding children's also deleted. So that means whatever we applied, all constants are working or not? Yes. So this is what now, how to add constants to existing tables. And how we are adding constants on existing table, same as I can remove also. I can remove my constraint from my existing table. But how it is, right down below? How to drop constraint from an existing table. So how to drop constraint from an existing table. So now, first of all, syntax write down. See, these many syntaxes you need to remember. Okay, now alter table name, and here I'm using drop keyword. Drop constraint. I'm dropping constraint keyword. The key name, whatever we design here, the key name should be give it to us. Okay, let me see one by one we will be drop. So first case, to drop a primary key. To drop a primary key. See, your primary key, whenever you want to drop, there are two cases are there. One is primary key when it was having relationship with the foreign key. In that level, we need to drop in one way of mechanism. Without a relationship, we can also drop primary key. That is one way of mechanism. So primary key can be dropping. How it will be dropping means it depends on cases. Okay. If it is having relation, one type of syntax. If it is no relation, one type of syntax. Okay. Now the two cases. Let me come. For example, present in my table, total my all constraints we will be see in our data dictionary. So that is called as what now? Parent. So this is parent table, complete constraints details. In the same pattern, let me go for your child table. Okay. In child table is also, we have a one more constraint that was what is now foreign key. So this is complete information about the constraints. Now, primary key constant, when I want to draw from my parent table, okay, this constant is already having some relationship with the foreign key. So that means my primary key constant is having in the relationship. Okay. At this moment, if you want to use the syntax, alter table name parent, and I'm using what? Drop constant. And what is my constant key name? EID_PK. This is my constant key name. And when I try to drop this, what it was happen? Showing it is error. And the unique or primary key is referenced by some foreign keys. So that means whenever your primary key constant is having relationship with foreign key, then you can't directly drop primary key. It's not possible. Okay. Now? And when this syntax will be useful means when this primary key is not having any relationship with the foreign keys, then it will be work. But when it was having relationship with foreign key, then it will not work. Then how I can drop, sir? Okay. There I want to use one additional keyword that is called as what? Cascade. So when you have a relationship, then you can use cascade. If there is a no relationship, then remove cascade. So when I'm using cascade keyword while dropping off my primary key, what it was happening, you can see the table was successfully altered. But in this case, what it was happened, the primary key is deleted and also foreign key is also deleted. So now let me go. So come to my parent. So primary key deleted, dropping a yes, and come out the same as I want to see. Your child table. Now see, child table foreign key is there? No. So this is one case and with relationship, without relation. So below write down case one, without relationship. So without relationship, if you want to drop your okay primary key, then you have to write the syntax. Alter table name, parent, drop, constraint, EID underscore PK. Case two, suppose your primary key was having with relationship. So with relationship, okay, then what we want to do, we need to add a cascade key. Okay, so these are the two things, remember guys. Now next write down. To drop unique, comma, check, comma, not null constraint. So when we want to drop the remaining constraints, what it was there, okay? So now I'm writing here, alter table. The table name is what now? Parent, drop, constraint, ename underscore UQ. So unique constraint was drop. Whether it is drop or not, do you want to check? Then you can call your data dictionary to view it. So now you can see unique constant is dropping or not. Yes. Same as now next I have to drop my check constraint now. Then I'm going to use a sal underscore chk. Then you can see your check constraint is dropping or not from your parent table. Dropping yes. And the next one, I want to drop my not null. So ename underscore nn. So not null also drop. And let me see now your parent table. Do you have any constraint? No. So in child table, do you have any constraint? No. So again, how we added constants, again that all constants are we dropped. Understand now? This is adding and dropping right on below. Okay, so these are constants are adding and dropping. And the next level, suppose you need to change your constant names. Okay, then how I can rename? Now below write down how to rename a constant key name. How to rename a constant key names. Again, we have a syntax here. Alter table name. And here I'm using the keyword is rename keyword. What I need to rename? Constant. Okay. And later I want to give old constant key name to new constant key name. Okay, now this is the syntax how to changing your constant names. Okay, let me see here. First of all, for example, are you designing one table? Table number 10, huh? Okay, 10. And now you can see, for example, one of my column, okay, serial number, enter, and I was applied here, primary key. That's it. But when I was using your constant, I'm not using any user-defined constant key names are not given. Just I was applied my primary key constant. So when we applied your constant directly on your column, now tell me this constant key names, who will created? System or user? System will be created. So let me see. The table is created and I want to see this. Okay. So now you can come back here, your data dictionary, test number 10 and 2 execute now. So on this primary key constant, system was created one constant key name in the format of system format C007827. Suppose, sir, I want to change this constant name. Okay, now I want to change this constant name. So at this moment, you have to use this command alter table. What is the table name? Test 10. Which keyword? Rename. What I want to rename? Constant. What is my old constant key name? Sys underscore C007827 to new name. I'm giving new name. PK underscore serial number. Yes or no? Now I just execute. Your table successfully altered. After altering, let me go and check your constant key name is changed. Yes. So like you can change your constant names. Right down below. Okay, now the next level. How to disable or enable constraints on a table, on a table column. So now in the next level, okay, we want to see how we can go to disable or enable your constraints. Here remember, by default, every constraint was a enable mode. Enable means working or not working or working mode and activate mode. Okay, now, so once you applied your constraint, by default, every constraint will be work. That means enable. And I want to disable those constraints certain period of time. Okay, for example, let me see. Are you designing one column salary? On salary column, I was applied one of my condition is greater than 5,000, for example. Okay, now. So initially, when I was created my column in particular table, along with your check constraint, and this check constraint by default, it will be activated. That means enable mode. Okay. If it is enable mode, can I insert less than 5,000 values? Huh? No. If I inserted 3,000 rupees, is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. If I inserted 5,000 rupees, is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. And if I inserted here 6,000 rupees, is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed. So that means your check constraint condition will verified or not verified here? Will verified. That means will checking. So your each and every value before inserting into this column, that value will be checked with your check condition. Whatever the condition was given by user, with that condition, your value will be checking. Okay, Oracle checking. If it is satisfied, allowed, not satisfied, not allowed. This is what it was happened. But now my requirement is what now? Into the same column, suppose I need to insert the salaries which is less than 5,000. Which is less than 5,000. Then what we want to do? I can't, okay, up to if I not enable or sorry, if I'm not disable this constraint, I cannot insert less than 5,000 values. But my requirement is what now? I want to insert my values which is less than 5,000. But now if you try less than 5,000, these are not allowed because of reason my constraint will be activate mode. So that's what I want to do. I need to deactivate my constraint. So how I can deactivate? Then I'm going to apply which keyword? Disable keyword. So when I was applied on here, disable keyword, then what happened? Your check constraint will disable. If it is disable means this condition will be not checking. It means your check constraint is not working, so that your condition is also not checking. When it is not checking by Oracle, then what it was happen? Can I happily insert 2,000? Yes, 2,000 now it is allowed. Okay, now so temporarily your constraint you need to deactivate or disable certain period of time. There you can use what now? Disable keyword. And we need to disable our constraint. Later, we can insert our required data. Then after inserted, again, you can go to enable. Understand now? So now I disable so that 2,000 is allowed. Okay, my requirement is fulfilled. Then what I want to do again? This disable mode, I want to enable now. If I do enable, and the next time, if I'm inserting 3,000 rupees, is it allowed? Not allowed. Because my constraint already enabled mode, working mode. Okay, now? So in these cases, the people will be using disable or enables. So whenever you require, you can enable. Whenever you require, you can disable. The choice is programmer. Okay, now? Right. So in that cases, it will be useful for us. Now write down below. By default, by default, all constraints, by default, all constraints are enable mode. Enable means working mode. Working, enable mode. If we want to, if we want to deactivate, deactivate a constraint, then deactivate means working or not working. If you want to make it what? Not working. Okay, deactivate constraint. Then we use a keyword is called as disable. Okay, now come out. See the syntax here. Syntax. Now write down alter table name. So here I want to use disable keyword or else enable keyword. So constraint and should give it your constraint key name. Okay, right. So now let me come. And first I will create one sample table now. So create table number 11. See, Sal, the data type is number. Check Sal greater than 5,000. Okay. Clearer? 11 already there, yeah. 13. So table is created. And we all of you know this, on this constraint, some key identity was created. And let me see that key identity. Test number 13. So this is your salary column, check constraint, name. Yes or no? So now what I'm saying here, the check constraint we applied on sal column. By default, this will be activate mode. That means working mode. When it was working, then Oracle will check this condition for every time whenever user inserted data. Okay, now let me come out and see. Suppose I insert into test number 13, sending values of less than 5,000. Oh, okay. So I'm sending here 4,000. Can I allow here? No, it's not allowed. And we're showing your check constraint is violated. So and so. Okay, the check constraint name and violated. Now we can see the same as in place of 4,000, can I insert 6,000? Yes, 6,000 will be allowed. Okay. And finally, whenever you want to come out and see your table 13 and see 6,000 is there, but 4,000 is not allowed. So that means your check constraint is in working mode. Clear? But now what I'm doing here, I want to change. That means to make a disable. So 13, and which keyword I'm using? Disable. What I want to disable? Constant. What is the constant key name? sys underscore C007828. This is my constant key name. Okay, system defined. Now I'm taking here to execute. Table altered. After table altered, let me come out and insert your 4,000. Can I? Yes, now this time allowed. Can I? So now finally you can come out. Now in your check constraint column, less than 5,000 values also allowed. Why? Because your constant was disabled. So that's why Oracle will not checking your data with your condition. Okay, it doesn't just normally accept it. So this is disable how to do. Okay, right down below. Here you can go for text siding. Disable a check constraint. Okay, now. So what we want to do now, first initial it is not allowed. Now we are making disable mode. Uh, so after making disable mode, your table successfully altered. Then after you need to testing now. And now this time the 4,000 is allowed. The first initial it is not allowed, but now it was allowed. So disable we did. We inserted our required information. After I want to make it what now? Enable. Now below item. So enable a check constant. Enable a check constant. Okay. Yet carefully observe, guys. Here, focus on this. Don't confuse. Already in my table salary column, some data already existing here. 6,000, 4,000, 2,000. Already some data was there. On this data column, now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to enable my constraint. Okay, now? But whenever you want to enable your check constraint condition is what now? Salary greater than 5,000. So when you are making or when you are enable your check constraint, enable means what now? Again, we are checking. Yes or no? At this moment, what happened? Your Oracle will go to your column and checking each and every value which was existing under column. Okay, na? Before enable your check constraint condition, your Oracle server will go to that column. In that column, how many values are there? That values are checked, first of all. If all values are satisfied by a given condition, then check constraint is enabled successfully. If any value is not satisfied with my condition, then your check constraint unable to enable. Understand now? So now let me see what happened. Alter table name 13. Which keyword? Enable keyword. Constraint. What is my constraint key here? SYSC. Okay, right. Here, careful observe. Are you activated now? Activated means what? This is called a check constraint. Check constraint condition is what now? Salary greater than 5,000. Yes or no? This is actually condition. And this condition with check constraint, are you enabling now? But what I'm saying here, before enable this check condition, okay, this check condition, first of all, your server will go to where now? Column. In column, already some existing data was there. That's called old data. This old data values will be checking now. Now, first one is going to be checking. 6,000 is greater than 5,000. Condition true, satisfied. 4,000 is greater than 5,000. Not satisfied. So, one value was satisfied, one value is not satisfied. Then what happened? Your check constraint can't enable. Now see, it was showing error. You cannot validate. Check constraint cannot be validated. Check constraint cannot be validated. That means we cannot enable your constraint. Then if I want to enable this check constraint, what I want to do? What is your suggestion? What is your idea? So here, which values are not satisfied with my condition? Those values I need to remove first. I want to remove. Here, how many values are there? 2 values. 4,000, I deleted. But in real time, you're working, 1 lakh rows are there. Then, byte 1 lakh records, delete, record, delete, delete, delete. Are you writing like this? No, na? Here 1 or 2 are there, so I can go and delete it 4,000, 2,000. Okay, fine, sir. But you're working in real time. There are lakhs of records are there. For example, in your table, 1 lakh rows are there. Out of 1 lakh rows, just imagine 50,000 values are not satisfied. Then are you deleted 50,000 values? It's the time consuming, na? Yes or no? So we can't do like this. Okay? That's why we don't want to disturb our old data, which already existing in my column. I don't want to disturb, but I want to activate. Okay, na? In that cases, the people was introducing one keyword. Okay, na? What it is here, observe. Right down below. First write this. Okay, right. To overcome, to overcome the above problem, we use a keyword. We use a keyword is called as no validate. Is called as no validate. Okay, now continue. When we enable a check constant, with no validate keyword, then Oracle server will not check an existing values, okay, in a column, existing values in a column, but checking, okay, newly inserted values, newly inserting values. Statement understand all of you? What I'm saying here, when we created, that means when we enable your check constraint with the no validate keyword, what it was happen? No validate means what? Server is checking or not checking? Not checking. That is called a no validator. Okay. Keyword. Then Oracle server will not check an existing values in a column. Existing values means new values are old values are. Old values already there. So already their values not checking. But newly inserted values are checking. Concept clear na? So it means what I'm saying here. So these are existing values. Careful observe. These are existing values. How many values already existing in this column? These values never check. It doesn't consider. Actually, simply you remember, existing values are not considered by your Oracle. Okay, na? It doesn't consider. It doesn't consider means automatically your check constant is activated now. Yes or no? Check constant when it is not activated, when your old data consider. Whenever you consider your old data, in that old data, some values are not satisfied. That's why check constant cannot be enabled. But my old data, if I'm not consider, then check constant can enable or not? Yes. Okay, na? So that is what it was happening when I'm using which keyword? No validate. Understand my point? Yes. If I'm using this keyword, these existing data cannot be checked. Okay, na? Let me see. Okay, I'm using this keyword here. Enable, what is the keyword? No validate. Now you can see your check constraint is activated or not. Yes. Now enable. Now it is enable or not. Suppose you have a doubt. Let me insert. Insert into 13 sending values of, for example, 1500. Accepted? No, it's showing error. Got it? Suppose if I inserted here 15,000, can I? Yes, it is allowed. Clear? Right on below. Actually, constraint topic is very, it's a big topic in database. Okay, na? But some institutions are not teaching this all. Okay, they're teaching only how to adding and how to dropping. That's it. But renaming constraint, enable constraint, disable constraints. So nobody can. There were so many institution people are not showing us. Maybe that's why those people are completed constraints within 2 or 3 classes. But now we are spending almost 1 week. 1 week classes we are spending on constraint. Anybody identified? 1 week classes. Still there, not completed. Okay, this is what? How to enable and disable. And the next one, write down. The next final constraint was there. What is that? Default constraint. Somebody expresses how it is, Sir, these many syntaxes, kuch samajh mein nahi aa raha, sir. How we want to remember this all? Yes or no? Only one thing. Any technology, anything, any subject. How you remember? Even the God also can't do anything without practice. You have to practice every day, minimum half an hour. Main queries, syntaxes, formulas. Revision every day half an hour. Don't spend more time, half an hour enough. Perfect half an hour. In half an hour में 10 minutes phone में बात करके फिर 5 minutes ट्राई करके बाद में मेरे गर्लफ्रेंड को फोन किया कर दिया प्रैक्टिस हो गया ऐसे नहीं sincerely half an hour without any disturbance sit in the room open your laptop keep it your time period and work in this half an hour don't lift any calls don't talk to anybody. If you do like that, half an hour is enough. Every day. Otherwise, beach में chatting, chit-chatting, messaging, खाना खा लिया? खा लिया है. क्या हो रहा है? Practice हो रहा है. Practice हो रहा है. Just a laptop open. हो रहा है practice. बहुत दिन से हो रहा है practice. ये इसमें practice है, इसमें नहीं. ऐसे करेगा तो if you do like this, every syntax, everything is a confusion. Understand? Na? Default constraint, come. In default constraint, why we want to use means, for example, carefully observe guys. Are you created one table, XYZ? Okay. We all of you know every column by default accepting nulls. Yes or no? Suppose are you inserted some values by insert command. Okay, you inserted X value, you inserted Y value, but you left a Z value. Which column are you left? That column by default, it will take a null. That already we knows. Okay. Like suppose if I am inserting one more record, so 2, I left this and I'm giving P here. Then Y column is also taking by default null. Again, in the same pattern, I inserted one more record. Then I was given B. I'm giving here Q, and first column is left. That column also taking what now? Null. So this is default of any database. SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, DB2, Sybase, any database, it is a common, natural. So null, null, null when you left any column. And now tell me, whatever the nulls are, okay, you're keeping now, these nulls are user defined or automatic. Automatic. So automatic means who will assign this? System. So nulls are called as a system defined default values. When user left any column in the table, in that column, null will be placed. That is a default nature. And the null who will be placed here, system will be placed. So what is my requirement? Why should I want to keep nulls in my particular column? Instead of keeping null, I want to keep some value. Understand? Na? Instead of keeping nulls, I want to keep some value. And that value I need to assign to particular column. Then how we can assign? Default constraint I want to apply. So with the help of default constraint, user assigning some value to the column. Then what it was happening, you can see. Suppose, okay, now see. Suppose I applied here default constraint with some name I was given, my value is Hyderabad. So when what it was happened, whenever you assign HYD to this Z column along with my default constraint, then what happened? Whenever user left this column, that means user is not sending value to this column, instead of null, what it will take here? Yes, by default, it will take HYD. Suppose second record. Second record user is inserted 2, B, Pune. Yes, it will be accepted. Suppose third record, they will be inserted 3, C, and this was left. Again, what it will take? Again, HYD. So whenever user left that column, automatically it will take a default value which was assigned by user. That value will be placing instead of null. Understand? No? So that is the use of what now? Default. Now take definition. To assign a user defined default value to a column. Value to a column. Okay, now? Now come out and see example here. So now I'm creating create table test number 14. Now observe student name worker 2 of some size and LOC worker 2 of some size. But on LOC I was applied default what now? HYD. So when I was created like this, then what it was happening, you can see to insert your data, test number 14 and here S name. Okay, I just given S name and LOC. So S name, suppose some name I'm giving, LOC is my wish. I'm giving some LOC Pune. So whenever user sending values, nothing problem. Which value you are sending, that value automatically taken. So now we can see it was taken or not. Okay, now? Pune will take in. But the next level, what I'm saying here, suppose if I remove this LOC column to insert the value, then what I'm doing here, only name column I inserted, name is B. That's it. Which column value I'm not sending? LOC column value I'm not sending. I'm not sending means by default what it will take? Null. But null already replaced now with which value? Hyderabad. So now you can see it was taking Hyderabad. Yes. This is not only one time. Okay, this is not only one time. You can go to number of times. Next C, execute. Again, come back and see your table. Again, Hyderabad. Okay, na? So this is what the default constant use. Right down below. Okay, completed. So this is default along with table creation we applied. But after table on existing table, how to add default value that we will see tomorrow. Okay, na? So maximum tomorrow we will finish this constant topic and we will go for one more new topic. Okay, all right, guys. So thank you so much.
This is your drop table, na? This is permanent drop or in recycle bin this also.
Recycle bin में only just a tables we can store.